The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
What a game in Toronto between Portugal and Croatia. Late drama and a disallowed Croatia goal, but Gonzalo Ramos with a header in stoppage time to complete the 2-1 victory after Cristiano Ronaldo had scored their first from a penalty. So Portugal move on to the round of 16, where they will face neighbouring rivals Spain on Monday in Dallas. As we welcome you inside the studio, Adam Hunt here on Golazo Matchnight, 48 Nations, with Chris Wittyngham and Marcelo Balboa. Wow! Breathe a sigh of relief after watching that. Well, not relief if you're a Croatia fan. It was very late drama, almost the last touch of the ball. I think the big question, was it a goal, Witty?
Well, first off, I kind of now wonder if inside of this ball is a sensor that will go off when I hit it, because it literally came down. I didn't know this. This is the first time we've seen it at this tournament. They have sensors in the ball, and the sensor is the reason why that goal was disallowed. Because if that takes even a grazing touch off of Renato Vega, and it spins off, and then it goes in, then that goal would have been given. That's extraordinary. That's the first time that we've seen that in a game. I don't think most people, when it came up on the screen, knew what that was. It's like this little EKG that decides whether or not the ball came off the ball or off the head of the defender or not. It was absolutely incredible, and that's just sort of the granular detail. Some people have found it, I don't want to say distasteful, but annoying that the offside technology and these marginal decisions. This literally comes down to if this comes off of enough of Renato Vega's hair to determine whether or not Croatia goes through or not. I mean, that is a level of detail that I don't think the founders of the game really had in mind, but that's what decided the game today. It's extraordinary. I do think it was the correct decision. I think it was.
Cello, you played the game. If you were on the pitch and you were playing for Croatia,
you need to get a haircut. You need to get a haircut if you play now.
I don't want
all defenders going to have to get a haircut now.
Hits it. It's there. You know what? I don't know. I saw the EKG and I'm like, is my chest? I wasn't sure if it was me or
it's
that.
A lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Give it compressions.
No
1,
kidding.
2, 3.
You know, I remember the days where they said, we want more goals. We're trying to create more goals. Now you put a chip on the ball, so if it nicks one little ponytail, it's not a goal. It's an offside by a toenail. So are we advancing to help soccer, or are we stopping it and are we hurting it now? Because I mean, every little inch.
I mean, I agree with you.
I
I think the point, though, is as long as the technology is used in the same way each time, then it is fair.
But we said that about VAR. Did we not?
I
Okay,
agree.
last night in the USA game, the VAR reached out to the referee. The referee made the call. So now let's take that into every corner kick, and we saw it today, grabbing guys, pulling guys down. There's going to be a penalty in every situation possible. So the VAR was made for the goal line technology. It wasn't made for you to be offside by my little elbow here or my shoe. You know what I mean? I think we're getting to a point where it's getting carried away. Listen, I thought it was cool. I thought it was my soccer nerd.
It was great drama, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great drama.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I'm glad they showed it, because if they didn't show it, I would have been like, what are you guys talking about? But I'm glad they showed the EKG. If you want to do more compressions, we're good. But I thought this VAR was supposed to create and help the game of soccer, not hurt it as much as I think it's hurting it a little bit now.
Because it also, I'm not going to say detracted, because it did provide the drama, as we've said, but actually it was going to be a thrilling end to the game anyway. Ramos scoring a late penalty. Croatia were winning 1-0, weren't they? In, I think it was the 53rd minute when they scored the goal through Perisic. Even without this was a thrilling game in the second half.
Yeah, in the second half, it was two really good teams throwing haymakers at each other. There were periods that Croatia dominated, and Diogo Costa made two absolutely brilliant saves to keep the scoreline as it was. Croatia got their goal. They pushed really well. Then Portugal had their spell where they played really well. Then, VAR gets involved with another penalty situation. I think that was probably more of a correct decision.
Yeah, 100%.
Renato Vega was definitely pulled to the ground there in that situation. I thought that was a correct call. So 1-1, Ronaldo finally gets his World Cup knockout round goal. He's 41. He's finally scored the World Cup knockout round goal. Then, as you mentioned, from a drama standpoint, he gets subbed off for the first time in the tournament in a knockout round
That's
game.
when he went for Portugal.
Right, yeah. All of a sudden became a big Portugal fan. No, I'm kidding. But then Bruno Fernandes got taken off. Vitinha got taken off. Roberto Martinez, who took all sorts of criticism throughout this tournament for not making the big calls, makes all of them in this game. Ramos rewards his faith with a penalty, or with a goal, a great header on a great cross from Rafael Leao. And then at 2-1, Croatia gets one, and then we have the madness with VAR. The first half wasn't great, but in terms of second halves of a game, going to 109 minutes or whatever it was, as entertaining of a game as we've seen at this tournament, and one of the better, I guess we can call them early knockout round games that we've seen, just in terms of the height of drama of what this tournament can offer.
Yeah, listen, I think that we talked about it earlier at halftime. It's typical. First game, you're feeling each other out. Second half, you come out and you start opening up the game. And you got to give them credit, man. Besides the Netherlands and Morocco game, that was probably the second best game we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Second half, they opened up. They went at each other. Both teams created great chances. I mean, Costa made some fantastic saves to keep Portugal in it. But at the end of the day, it's quality, right? It's about the service. Leao puts a fantastic ball in. Ramos gets up. So the two defenders kind of watch. They don't jump. So, you know, this is, I think, what we wanted to see. We want to see these kind of games. You hate to see Modric go home, and hopefully it won't be his last game. Hopefully, I mean, you know he'll get a farewell game, but I hope that he stays a little bit more with Nations League and everything that's coming up. But that's the second half that we were expecting.
Fortune favours the brave, doesn't it, in sport? And you have to say that Roberto Martinez was very brave, as you mentioned, in the second half, bringing some of his big players off, most notably Ronaldo, and kind of pushing his chips all in on the subs that came on. How much credit is he due for the tactical nous and knowing that was the right call to make, even if it was a particularly unpopular call? We saw Ronaldo's face when he came off as a substitute, and I don't think he was happy about it. So credit's due to him, and also validates the point that maybe he should have been substituting Ronaldo in some of the previous games.
Yeah, and that it sort of comes as a surprise. I do think this is a little bit of a different game because of how hot it is in Toronto today, where maybe you can make an argument on behalf of fitness and condition and all of those things that maybe, although, I mean, they played in Miami in their final group stage game. So, I mean, certainly, you know, fitness and condition would come into play there as well. But, yeah, I mean, it's a massive call. It's a massive call for him to make because we saw it in the last World Cup. Fernando Santos, the previous manager, decided, I'm going to take him off in a knockout round game. I'm going to start Gonzalo Ramos. He scored a hat trick in the last 16, but then they lost in the quarterfinal and ultimately were fairly hapless in the attack. And all of the criticism came for the manager because he took him off. And so you see Ronaldo now finally getting his goal in the knockout round, converts a penalty. But by the way, that was his only touch inside of the penalty area in the entire game. He wasn't effective for the lion's share of the match. It was ultimately a penalty that someone else won. So I don't think that this was necessarily vindication for him, but it was also, you know, vindication. He gets his goal in another respect. So it's kind of a narrative draw at the end of all this. But to your point, Roberto Martinez making these changes in this moment is absolutely huge because it shows going forward that Ronaldo is not the golden goose, is not the sacred cow or whatever farm-based analogies you want to make. But I think...
Sacred cow?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think he is one of these players now that can be removed in other games and I think affects the way that we think about them going forward because if it's not working against Spain in the next round, you can see a scenario in which he takes him off.
Sue means sacred cow.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just, you know, I thought maybe the golden goat or so, I don't know. But listen, you got to give the coach tons of credit because it's not easy taking off a star. One of the best players in the world. Between Messi and Ronaldo, how do you have the courage to take him off? And I think he took him off at the right time, and I think he showed everybody that he can make those decisions. Because we were always questioning, will he do it, will he not? And they've never been in a position where he had to take him off. And today he had to take him off. I think he had like one shot, which was a penalty on target. So I think that he showed everybody today that, you know, we do have players that have quality in Ramos that can play that 9, because when they did go to the double 9, Croatia tore him apart. That's where Croatia had that fantastic 10 to 15 minutes. And then what does he do? He says, no, we need to take Ronaldo off. He puts Ramos up by himself. And that's where this team started playing a little better. But you can see matches there, 3-4 goals, 1 assist. But this, to me, was, I think, a huge stepping stone for this team, knowing that they can play without him.
And this guy, not just for his national side, we've seen him do it for PSG. He is a real super sub. Yep. When he comes on, he invariably scores a goal, a lot with his head. He's one of those players who does seem to have a knack of right, go on for the last 20 minutes, get me a goal. He's as much of a super sub as we've got in world football right now.
And even with PSG, as you mentioned this season, I want to say he scored 5 or 6 goals in stoppage time of games for PSG. And some of those were icing games that they had already won, but some of them were dramatic late equalizers or winners as well. I think in the overall, going back to the last World Cup, when he came in for Ronaldo and scored that hat trick in the last 16 against Switzerland, there was a real feeling that he was going to kick on and have a really big club career, made a big money move to Paris Saint-Germain. That move has not worked for him. He is not built from strength to strength, and he's going to have to rebuild his career at Milan, where he's heading to after this World Cup for next season in Serie A. But I think for whatever reason, when he comes on as a sub in these games, he's, I believe, I just heard the stat in my ear, averaging a goal every 47 minutes in his World Cup appearances. That is extraordinary for a player who obviously is coming in limited windows and is producing at a really high level. So all credit to him for being able to come on and do the thing that Ronaldo was meant to do, which is occupy center backs and challenge in the air. You mentioned earlier, Pongracic and Kvaratskhelia are completely out to lunch from a defensive point of view on that one. But I still think that the way that he goes and scores that goal, you have to give him a massive amount of credit, because that's a lot of pressure. You come on as the striker. He didn't come on directly for Ronaldo, but when Ronaldo comes off, you're the guy upon whom all the attention is paid, and here he is delivering in such a big moment.
Cello, let's have a quick look at the SofaScore ratings from this game for the Portugal players. I'm hearing that Cristiano, maybe not necessarily reflected here, but Cristiano Ronaldo was given man of the match during the game, which I think is as much
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me? Well, to be fair, they gave Lamine Yamal the man of the match earlier. He was maybe the 8th best player for Spain
as much
today.
a popularity contest as
Ridiculous.
anything else. A few sevens in there. Highest rating I can see is obviously the goal scorer, Ramos, coming on 7.9. I think that's a bit unfair on Costa. I thought he had a brilliant game.
I'm a little surprised, because if it wasn't for his 2 or 3 saves, they would have been down 2-0, maybe 3 at that point. So I thought he should have been a little higher. And I thought, I'm not going to lie, I think Ronaldo's too high. I think he should have been lower. He really didn't impact the game at all. Maybe one free kick that he hit the defender in the wrong area. But overall, I mean, I think it's a pretty fair score, except for Costa, and I think Ronaldo should have been lower.
What do you think, Witty?
Yeah, I mean, Mendes did a lot of good work on that left side, but I sort of question any rating of the Portugal defenders at any high level. I thought Croatia in that second half were able to play through them relatively well. Vitinha having such a high rating, he came off early in that second half. I don't think he had a brilliant game either. He's not had a brilliant tournament so far. So I think there's some fairly questionable performances in this Portugal side, but Ramos coming on and making that impact. Those statistical player ratings tend to
Numbers
overvalue.
always go up when you win a little bit. That's
when you
why.
win and when you score, which is obvious, right? It's such an important part of the game. But I still think that, Ramos and Ronaldo are probably that little bit overrated as a result of the goal. But yeah, I don't think it was a brilliant Portugal performance. They have a lot to work on ahead of their game against Spain.
Okay, time for a short break here on Golazo Match Night 48 Nations. We've got plenty more coming up for you in a couple of minutes. We'll see you then.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount+.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount+.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchnight 48 Nations. So Portugal survive a late scare against Croatia in Toronto to take their place in the round of 16 against their rivals Spain. 2-1 it finished on the night, and these are their results so far here at this World Cup. 2 draws in the group stage. Disappointing performances really against DR Congo and Colombia, either side of that big 5-0 win over Uzbekistan in the second group game on match day 2, and then confirmation of a 2-1 victory over Croatia in the round of 32. For more on Portugal, let's chat to their former forward, Luis Boa-Morte, who joins us live on the show. Now, Luis was a member of the 2006 Portugal World Cup squad back in Germany. Fond memories, I'm sure, of that time, Luis. Have you calmed down after that late drama? Did you think that was a goal for Croatia? You got a big smile on your face.
Yeah, now it's a lot easier now because the referee gave 10 minutes extra time, then they scored on 12 and a half minutes. So we felt a bit like let down by the referee, but at the end of the day, it was a little touch, like probably ball technology. Then, kept us in the competition.
I'd be curious for your perspective on the overall performance in the game, though. Obviously, the drama moments, Ronaldo getting taken off, scoring his penalty. But in terms of how the team played, did well in the first half, I thought, but then Croatia had their periods in the second half where they controlled the game. What is the overall feeling leaving this match in your mind?
Yeah, I agree with you. First half, Portugal controlled the game and start really well, then dominating. Croatia let Portugal dominating. They were slowing the game down, tried to keep Portugal off the track, but Portugal was really, really up for it. But second half was a bit disappointed by the way Portugal played and allowed Croatia to come forward and play in between the lines and create a lot of chances. Portugal had a really good one that Rafael hit the crossbar, and Ronaldo, the offside goal. Croatia had another disallowed goal as well to the offside. But I think it was first half for Portugal, second half for Croatia, and nice goal by Gonçalo Ramos.
I got to ask, because that's a big talking point here in the U.S., is will he take Ronaldo off? So Roberto Martinez takes him off. There comes the goal. But how difficult is that for a coach to take off a player like that when it's probably needed 10 minutes before that, but he had enough, we'll say, cojones to be able to take out Ronaldo in a game?
Yeah, that's been the main issue, the main conversation. Ronaldo to start, Ronaldo to be on the bench, Gonçalo to start. And today, I think Gonçalo create another problem for the manager, as at some stage he took the option to go on a 4-4-2 or 4-2-4, because Francisco and Leon were really offensive players. They didn't defend much, but when Ronaldo came off, he came out, then Gonçalo was playing as a single striker. We go back to the 4-3-3, and Gonçalo scored. So this is what most of the media had been talking about. Why not starting with Gonçalo? And today, when Ronaldo left the pitch, that's when Gonçalo scored the winner, playing as a single striker. So another problem. Should be a healthy problem, but we'll see. Because Ronaldo, he was quite disappointed when he saw his number 7 to come out, but he has to come off because manager is being paid to take decisions anyway.
Obviously, a massive game coming up on Monday against Spain. From what you saw today, how does that make you feel about the game against Spain?
A really tough one because Spain did ever so well the match they played, so they played okay. Austria didn't show much resistance to Spain, but we could see that they were really up for it and they played really well, and without any question mark they were the truly winners. So Portugal will have a really tough one. We always have tough games against Spain for various reasons. The next door neighbors, big rivalry between us, the both countries. So yeah, it will be a really tough one, but it will be tough for Portugal, but I'm sure it will be tough for Spain as well.
Was a really tough occasion as well for the players before the game and after the game. They honored Diogo Jota on the nearing on 1-year anniversary of his passing. Roberto Martinez said this after the game. He said the message was that we were all ready, that the World Cup started today. It was important to play with intensity, with pride, and we did that. It's a very special team, and today was very special because Ricardo Carvalho's father, Diogo Jota, and all the Portuguese people. Satisfaction, pride, and now it's time to start recovering because the next game is very early. So he mentioned Jota in there as part of his message after the game. From your perspective and the perspective of Portugal, how emotional is that story even still, and what did you make of what the team did for him?
Yeah, he went past, but still very fresh in the players' minds. Also, the ones that were really close to him, like Ruben Neves, that was the closest player to him. But in between the group, of course, that is always a player to remember. He passed away still on his playing days, so very difficult situation for the players and for the team, especially when it was the year's anniversary, make us even harder. So I think the boys, they want to win the game and dedicate it to him for sure.
Well said, Luis, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. And we're going to head to a short break now. Please do stay with us here on Golazo Matchnight, 48 nations. We've got plenty more coming up in a couple of minutes. We'll see you then.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchnight. 48 nations, so Croatia out of the World Cup at the round of 32 stage to Portugal. Their recent form, at least in the last few World Cups, are being very hard to beat in knockout games. Ended despite them having a 1-0 lead in the first half through Ivan Perisic's goal. So these are their performances in recent World Cups. 2018, they were runners-up, of course, making it all the way through to the final. 2022. Got to the semi-finals, ended up finishing in third, and then now out in the round of 32. So, Cello, I mean, getting through knockout stages, as we said at halftime, is a bit of a speciality for Croatia, at least recently, and you almost can't count them out. They always find a way to come back. It's like a cat with 9 lives, isn't it? And they nearly did here, if it wasn't for the chip inside this ball we see in front of us. Did they show enough fight to win this game, do you think? Do you think they're going to sit in the dressing room afterwards thinking we could have won that today? I
would hope so. I mean, if it wasn't for Costa making 2 or 3 saves, I mean, they could have been up 2-0. If they would have put that second one away, I think it would have been a different ballgame. So, yeah, I think you'd be a little frustrated because you were close. You knew you were there. You almost got yourself back into the damn game, except for the chip in that ball, thanks to you. But no, listen, I think when you're in the locker room, you're always going to be upset because you lost. No one wants to lose, but I think you can walk off the field and say they gave everything they had. They pushed it to the limit. Till the 109th minute, they scored that goal. So I think it's more probably frustration that they didn't put the game away when they had a chance.
What did you find harder as a player to deal with? Getting thrashed or those kind of games where you felt like you were in it and you could have done it?
I've got abused both ways, my friend. when we started in we'll say the late 80s, 90s, you know what, we were getting beat up pretty good by teams, and that was frustrating. And then as you grew, it became more frustrating when you're in the game and you could have won the game and you didn't put the game away. So I would rather be in we fought, we were close, we just couldn't put the game away than getting thrashed. But the mentality's still the same. It's you're going to fight, you're going to move, you're going to kick, you're going to do everything possible to get yourself in the game. They controlled the game at times, especially when Portugal went to 2 forwards. They had a good period, about 15 minutes, I would say, where they had maybe 2 good chances to put it away, and they didn't put it away. So I would think you're in the locker room just frustrated that you couldn't bury that second one. The second one goes in, it changes the game.
A lot of talk going into this game clearly was about the battle of 2 veterans, Cristiano Ronaldo and Luka Modric on the Croatia side. What legacy does he leave behind as a World Cup player for Croatia?
An extraordinary player. I mean, we're talking about a country that is small by population and that doesn't really have an enormous footballing tradition. They've had some great athletes, have some good footballers, but Luka Modric has changed everything for the country. This is a team that in the last 2 World Cups finished 2nd and 3rd, that played more than 200 times for his country, that represented Croatia to the world in the club game as well. First with Tottenham, where he was sensational, and then, of course, with Real Madrid for so many years. 14 times Croatian Footballer of the Year. This is his 5th World Cup. It is an absolutely flawless legacy that he leaves behind. As far as leading a country to punch above their weight in every respect, Luka Modric, as a class professional. I kind of got to see a little bit more up close in covering Milan for the last season, where when you read about the team, it's not just what he does, it's what he does for the other players in the locker room and what he does in terms of setting an example and his leadership. This is an absolutely perfect football. I don't think there's a human being on earth that could have a problem with Luka Modric. And there's so many debates and player versus player and, you know, club versus club. He played for that club, so I hate him. He plays for that team, so I hate him. I'll admit, I'm a culprit of this culture. No problem. But who could possibly hate Luka Modric? Who could possibly dislike? Who could possibly not love Luka Modric? He is a perfect footballer in every way. It has been a joy to watch him play. And if that's the last time we ever watch him play, well done, sir. It was a beauty to watch your career.
And I think this game, I'm going to use the word dichotomy here, which I think describes this perfectly. You had Cristiano, it's almost pick your poison. You had Cristiano Ronaldo on one side, the way he goes about the game, clearly an amazing player with a wonderful record, but is a certain type of character, and some people like that and some people don't. Most notably the...
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
And then Luka Modric, who goes about the game and has had a wonderful career that you can compare to someone like Cristiano Ronaldo at the other end, who goes about it in completely the opposite way. It's not about him. He's unassuming. He's quiet. He lets his feet do the talking, all of the cliches. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love football, is because there are so many different ways to be successful at this game.
Yeah, you know, I think that's what's the beauty of our sport is the different personalities. One guy's selfish, one guy's selfish. So I think when you talk about Modric, you talk about a guy who plays it in its purest form. He enjoys it. He's got great vision. He's been one of the top 10 players in the world for so many years, up there with the Ronaldos and the Messis. And when you look at him, you just look at a guy who wants to play, who wants the ball, who wants to see his teammates succeed. Not me. It's about the team always. And I think that's been the most exciting part for me watching him play. It's just because of the fact he makes people around him better. And those are the kind of players you want to surround yourself with, because you don't want to surround yourself with the guys that are going to bite at you and yell at you and tell me you're an idiot, you should have this, give me the ball. He's not like that. He's a guy that you just enjoy watching. When he's on the ball, you're like, okay, what's he going to do? What kind of ball is he going to slide through the back line? So it's been a pleasure. I hope he's not done. I hope he sticks around a little bit longer. Maybe not with the national team, I get it, but for club or somewhere that he stays in the game, because those are the kind of mentors you need to have, especially for young athletes that are coming
And I think today we saw a great example of how he makes the players around him better. Kovacic in club football recently has been starting to be on the wane, but today he looked like a different player, didn't he? Because he had Modric alongside him. I mean, he could have scored. He had that double chance at the end. He could have scored at least one of those goals. That's a classic example of, if you play next to Modric, you're more than likely going to have a better game than if you play next to someone else.
He played with a purpose and with an endeavor that I haven't seen from him in years, since probably he was at Chelsea. It has been that long for Kovacic, and he just got on the ball and did all the things we've seen from him for years, dribbling through defenders and so good in controlling the ball. And you mentioned that double chance that he had, the one that he curls towards that bottom corner, which was an absolutely stunning save from Diogo Costa, and then he kind of slices through the follow-up, which Costa then also tips over the bar as well. So, yeah, he was great. But I thought Croatia gave absolutely everything in this game. I thought they survived in the first half, but they led by 1-0. They will be frustrated with the manner in which they conceded the goals. The first being, I mean, in the VAR era, you have your arms hugged around someone. You're at risk of giving away a penalty.
The referees made it clear at the beginning of the World Cup. They're going to be watching you. They're going to be making sure that you're not grabbing, you're not tugging. So more power to the referee today, because...
And to the VAR as well.
because that's a decision that a lot of people let go. It's just part of the game. They stopped it. They made the penalty. So more power to that.
And because there was a real chance that Vega would have scored if it wasn't for the arms draped around them. And then, honestly, the defending at the end is, I think, the one thing that they'll regret. The fact that you have two guys around the striker and neither of them came even close to winning that ball in the air. Give a lot of credit to Leao for the cross, and it was a very good cross, but I don't think that was very well defended. I think in the overall, though, this game was a perfect embodiment of this era. One of our researchers in the control room, Nathan, told us as we were watching that second half, they led 1-0. That's the first time that Croatia have led in the 90 minutes of a knockout round game in this modern era. It's been since the 90s that they actually led a game, or maybe the early 2000s. They actually led a game in the 90 minutes. They got to a final. They got to another semifinal, and they did that, never winning a game at any point
Scoring in
the 90 minutes.
Is too easy. Why would we do that?
It's too easy. Why would you do it normally? This is a team.
We need a challenge. We need a challenge. Go ahead.
I have a friend in one of my group chats who, anytime Croatia does anything in this tournament, he sends the zombie emoji because they are the zombies of this tournament. They don't die. You have to kill them. They in the 103rd minute of the game, they almost still came up with a moment to tie the game. So it was extraordinary to watch them sort of deliver one of those kinds of performances one more time. One imagines that by the time we get to the next World Cup, it will be another generation, and those players have an enormous burden now because they have to fill the shoes of this incredible group of players that have done so much for so long.
Okay, so Croatia on the plane home back to Europe. Time for a short break here on Golazo Match Night, 48 Nations. We've got plenty more coming up for you in a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Match Night, 48 Nations. Earlier today, Spain started really clicking into gear at this World Cup. A convincing 3-0 win over Austria in LA. Mikel Oyarzabal scored 2 either side of a great Pedro Porro team goal. Former winners in 2010 will now face their European neighbours, Portugal, in the round of 16. It should be a really interesting game. How does this cello set up? We're going to look from a Portugal and a Spain perspective here, but from the Portugal perspective, given what they've done against Croatia, how are they feeling now having to play Spain, which is another level up in quality?
Well, listen, I think like any tournament, you have to play the best to win at the end of the day. So I think when you look at this game, I think, one, they got to get better defensively. 2, I think they have to make a decision about Ronaldo. Will he be able to maneuver between the back line of Spain? I think you've got to get, for me, you've got to get a little bit more of the second half. That's where you have to start the game. because if you allow Spain to dictate, you're in trouble. So I look at Portugal and I say to myself, this is a good team. They didn't play well today, and you can put it to the side, but they still found a way to win. And those are the teams that are dangerous because they're getting better and better. And you're going to have a bad game in the World Cup. It's just part of life. You want it to be in the knockout, or if you do have a bad game, you still want to find a way to win it. Portugal found a way to win it today. So I would think that right there in itself gives them a lot of confidence going into Spain. I think when you play a team like Spain, they're both going to rise to the occasion. It's not like, oh, okay, it's so-and-so, and I don't want to make day. Or it's this. Now it's Spain. So now you got to up your game. You're going home. So I think that this will be a battle and a half.
What do you think, Witty? Will they be able to reproduce the kind of performance we saw in the second half against a team like Spain?
I think one of the areas they most have to improve is in midfield. I'm surprised that they have Vitinha and João Neves, and it seems like they get overrun sometimes. Vitinha, for as good as he is in the Champions League for Paris Saint-Germain, he has not delivered that for Portugal at this World Cup so far. And when you're coming up against a team that has the designs, as you mentioned, of dictating the game, I am really curious how Portugal would even approach a game against the ball. We saw them try it against Colombia. I thought they're pretty soundly beaten in that game, even though the game finished 0-0. Colombia just didn't finish their chances. So I am curious if they are going to play against the ball, which you kind of have to expect playing against Spain. They do this to everyone. It doesn't matter the opponent. They will control the ball. I am curious as to how they negotiate that. But yeah, I think from an attacking point of view, they definitely had good moments in the first half. I'm curious if he goes with Leao again. I thought he was the one player, at the very least, is capable of breaking a game. He's the one change of pace. They have so many great, tidy, technical players, but Leao is just different from Fernandes, from Neto, from Felix, from Bernardo Silva. He's a different kind of player, and so I think he's the one that can definitely offer something different. But when you look at these two teams, Porro and Cucurella were massively influential for Spain in their victory over Austria. And just as Mensch and Cancelo want to be a similar level of attacking as fullbacks, whichever team pins the other ones back to where you make them defend rather than attack, you're putting them in exactly the spot that you want to be in. So I think that's a huge part of the game. But it is fascinating because both these teams want to control the game, want to dominate, are nations that frankly have designs of winning this tournament, and they're meeting in the last 16.
The problem is nobody wants to make the mistake. You don't want to be that player. And that's why you see most first halves, they're feeling each other out. Almost every game, even the U.S. game, you can go to any game. England, the same thing. They both, it's that feeling out, you don't want to make a mistake. Then the second half comes along and you realize, okay, we got to open up a little bit. So I think Spain will come out and try to control and dictate. I think you'll get Ronaldo trying to get in behind. But I see one of those games, again, played in the midfield. In the second half, we're going to let the dogs loose a little bit, and we're going to open up and see if we can get a goal.
Seems crazy, really, given that Spain are the European champions and have such a great record and, former winners relatively recently of the World Cup. They won it in 2010. That they seem, to me, have gone kind of under the radar at this tournament so far, aren't they? Considering how good they are and how many great players they've got. And maybe that's been lost a little bit in the Messi, Haaland, Mbappe battle and Kane scoring the goals. They've sort of quietly improved since that performance in the first game. And I think, speaking to a point that you made earlier, Cello, that's exactly what you need to do to win a World Cup. It's no good playing well in your group games. You need to slowly build towards the final. And I think, particularly when I watched them today, and, we always thought they were going to beat Austria fairly comfortably, but I saw a team that looks like it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think that is such a big step forward from the way that they drew that game against Cabo Verde in the opener. I think that's why people kind of forgot about them as favorites. Once you draw a game like that, you're going, well, I don't know. And I still don't think, today I thought they played well, but I think one of the things that France have done, they've had these 10, 15-minute periods where they blow you away. You're like, whoa, what is this? Even what Messi did for Argentina in the group stage, scoring those brilliant goals, like, okay, that seems unstoppable. That seems like, what am I going to do? Whereas Spain, I still don't think they've quite hit that level. And we'll see in this next game against Portugal, once they play a real high level of opposition, are they capable of blowing teams away? I don't think Yamal played well today, despite the fact that, for reasons passing understanding, he was named man of the match. But I think in the overall, there are some pieces that work well today. Like I mentioned, the fullbacks I thought played well. They did well to get the ball out wide through Pedro. And I thought even Baena had a decent game as well for Spain. But I just think there is something that hasn't quite exploded. It has been good, but it's not quite been that level of, wow, I'm overwhelmed by what I've seen from Spain.
It's the finishing. Listen, Yamal today looked good. He should have scored 2 goals. Let's be honest.
Yes,
that's not his normal self. So now you've got a kid who played 20 minutes here, 45 minutes the next game. Now he's getting to a point where he's starting to feel comfortable. He's putting himself in good position. And a guy like that has to put himself in position to score. And he did that today. He just couldn't put it in the back of the net. So I think at Olmo in the midfield, he's a machine. He's a machine running everywhere. So I look at this team and I say, okay, this is dangerous because Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, and what had happened to Argentina? Okay, so they've had their hiccup. They tied Cape Verde. Now, all of a sudden, every game it's gotten better and better, and today was a good 45 minutes. Can they put 60 or 70 minutes against Portugal? I think that's the next step. And can Yamal bring that magic? Can he do something special? Because when he does, when he's on, they're today was the first time I saw him popping the ball. It was popping, it was moving, it was going everywhere. So that's the Spain I think we all wanted to see. But when you have a hiccup, you question it. I saw it today, and you can clearly see, and I think we're talking with Troy, when you hear that pop out of the field, when a guy's putting a nice pass into you hear it, you know this team's ready to go. And you can see how the ball was moving, how they were switching the play, how they were finding spaces. They just couldn't put it away today.
Another thing that people are really wanting to see about this game is the battle between Lamine Yamal and Cristiano Ronaldo. 23 years between them. Yamal wasn't even born when Cristiano Ronaldo made his World Cup debut. I'm going to ask you both this question.
Yeah, he wasn't born either when I played. So.
I'm sure he's a big fan of your career. He's got all of those games from '94.
Yeah, maybe Rocky Balboa. He may think I'm related to that.
I'm just imagining Rocky Balboa sat in the studio talking about soccer. I'm going to ask you both this question. Fast forward to the age that Ronaldo is now for Lamine Yamal. Do we think he's had a better or worse career at that point than Cristiano Ronaldo?
I'm going to say worse only because it is so hard to hit that level for so long, to be so consistent. What Ronaldo did in the Champions League year after year after year, winning that competition 5 times, being that player that always rises to the occasion in those sorts of moments is incredible. So I think for Lamine, it's the same weight of expectations that you place upon him when you compare him to Messi, obviously, given the Barcelona connection. I think it's incredibly hard to suggest that any player can do that because it's only happened maybe 7 or 8 times in the history of the sport. So it's to suggest that someone has the ability, the stamina, the fitness in order to go for that long, I think it would be absolutely extraordinary. So just playing probabilities, I'm going to say worse, but obviously Lamine, from what he's done as a teenager, is well on his way to being a really, really good player.
Is it possible in the modern game?
Yeah, listen, you can't look at what the 2 best players in the world have ever done. I mean, you put them at this pedestal, which is great. They're up here, Messi and Ronaldo, and he's getting there, and he'll get there in his own time. But he's 18 years old. He's still got so much more to learn, so much more to give. So the important thing is he's enjoying the game. He stays healthy. But you're putting a goal, obtainable goal, way up there. And that's difficult to reach. How many players are going to reach that in our lifetime? How many players are going to reach the Ronaldos and the Messis? But we put it so high that when he doesn't reach it, now he's had a bad year or he's not the player we thought he was be. That's crap. I'm sorry. Because you can't compare this 18-year-old kid. When he's 100% healthy, he's phenomenal to watch play. He's electric. He turns, he makes you smile. He's like, oh, did you see that? So I don't want to put that ceiling on him, but he's in that category at 18. He's going to get there, and we'll see when he's 38. We'll see what his career looks like.
Okay, we've got to go to break, but who's going to win the game? Spain and Portugal?
Spain.
Shall I?
Spain.
He's so
He was trying to get away without answering it.
He's lived his life as a contrarian, but not quite that time.
Spain.
Time for a short break here on Golazo Matchnight 48 Nations. We've got plenty more coming up in a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchnight. 48 nations, so attention turns to the third game of the day. It's Switzerland versus Algeria in the round of 32, an 11 p.m. Eastern kickoff, and the lineups are in for us. We're going to start with Switzerland. Cella, what have they gone for here?
Ooh, let's see. Little 4-2-3-1, which is nice. You can see it's a little different because they're used to, we've seen them in a 4-4-2 with a diamond in the middle. But this is the way they're going to start. When you look at this, to me, it's simple. This back line, Zakari's coming in here. I mean, when you talk about Mbolo up top, we talk about one of the fastest players, quick players. Manzambi, if we want to go over there, rumor has it, maybe possibly Newcastle with Vargas. You know, when you look at this team, to me, Rodriguez on the outside, it's a team that's very structurally sound, tactically sound, and it's a group for me that should win this game. And it's going to happen with the two wide players.
It's an easy draw. I think that's fair to say, isn't it, that they've got Algeria and they would be expecting to win this game, Switzerland. But I think that diminishes what Switzerland have done so far, doesn't it, Witty? This is a team that can really perform at this level.
Yeah, I think we've seen their best has been very good. I think you go back to the Qatar game, they were 1-0 up for most of the game. They should be 3-0 up by the end of that game. They give up an equalizer. And then a similar thing happens with Bosnia. They go 70 minutes of playing, struggling to find a goal. Then the red card happens, and then the floodgates open. I thought Canada was the first time that we really saw them play well for a 90-minute period. You're going against the host nation, and they're building. You get a 2-0 lead, you take care of business, and then you occupy their home. It's sort of one of those interesting quirks of the tournament where Canada aren't playing at home. And we get to see Manzambi in from the start, which I think is something that we've been really curious about, is what does the Swiss team look like when it's actually Manzambi in from the start rather than coming off the bench. And we'll see that dynamic tonight against Algeria.
Okay, let's have a look at how Algeria set up their 11 for this game, Witty.
Yeah, so it's 3 changes from that bizarre Austria game in the final game of the group. And one of the interesting parts about it is that Guiri drops to the bench. So I don't really think there is a recognized striker in this group. It will be Mazza who will start in that forward position, but at Leverkusen, he plays more off of the striker than as that central player. I think there'll be a lot of rotation between these players. You saw Mahrez occupying the channels between the center backs, so I think he'll get into those good positions. But honestly, Adam, the one issue, the one problem that I would have in this team, goalkeeper. Zidane was nowhere near good enough in the first 2 games, chucked a couple in, and also the reserve goalkeeper that came in for the last game of the group, I don't think was very good either. So I think the goalkeeper might be a reason. I think this is a really good team, particularly this left side with Bensebaini and Ait Nouri, 2 pretty high-level club players. Bensebaini for Dortmund, Ait Nouri for Manchester City. Ben Taleb has been around for a while as well. So I think this is a good team, but I think they're held back by the situation in goal. And I wouldn't be surprised if that reared its ugly head in this game.
They have improved, though. We were talking earlier about, if you want to have a successful run at a World Cup, you need to improve from your first game. As Witty mentions, they were poor, particularly Zidane, the goalie, was poor against Argentina. And then they've steadily improved in the next few games. Could they cause what I think would be an upset against Switzerland today?
Ooh, that would be, I think, one of the biggest upsets, or one of the bigger upsets we've seen. Listen, I think when you look at Switzerland, they're very good. They move the ball, they move. They like to play to the wides. They get in the boxes. They can go different many ways. I think when you look at Algeria, they're going to defend. They're going to hit you on the counterattack. Is that dangerous? Do they have somebody that can really, really run by you? No. So I think the fact that set pieces will be important for them, transitional from the midfield forward, how do they connect well? But I see this a very difficult game for Algeria against Switzerland.
Neither of these sides have much record at all in the knockout phase of a World Cup. I think a lot of it, Witty, is going to be who can deal with the pressure the best of being able to play knockout football.
I think you definitely say that is more on Switzerland than on Algeria. Algeria obviously getting through as a third-place team in the group, although for a brief moment they were beating Austria and would nearly decided upon a matchup with Spain rather than a matchup with Switzerland. There were people around Algeria that were going, what are you doing, Riyad Mahrez, scoring that goal that would have had us play Spain in the knockout round? Instead, here they are against Switzerland. But I think the reason why I say that pressure is on Switzerland as the group winners, as a team that I think has been on the rise. They perform well at the Euros in 2024, and I think they're a team that is building forward in terms of talent. I think they've got some really interesting players in forward positions. This is their game to make. This is their game to finally get into the last 16 of a knockout round, to win a knockout round game and take it to Algeria. So I think the pressure is on them after what they did against Canada to now have a good game here and take advantage of really what is a decent opportunity to even make a quarterfinal. Could potentially be either Colombia or Ghana in the last 16. That is not a game to be favored in if it's Colombia, but it's a game they have a chance in. So I think that will be the thinking, is the opportunity that they have in this game.
Okay, looking forward to watching that one. We've got plenty more coming up for you on Golazo Network when we return in a couple of minutes. We'll see you then.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Spain with a comfortable 3-0 victory over Austria in the round of 32 to get things started in the FIFA World Cup. A very nice performance of praise from Mikel Oyarzabal and Pedro Porro also adding a goal to give La Roja all 3 points on this day. Alongside Nigel Coker and Mike Grella, I'm Chris Wittyngham. And guys, this was probably by far and away the most comfortable victory we saw from any team so far in this round of 32. Is this, in your mind, Spain rounding into form?
Yeah, you'd have to worry about that. You'd have to say it's a great performance by Spain today. It's a dominating performance. Had a few moments where Austria tried to push the envelope to try and get a goal back into it, but they still looked comfortable about it. The way they kept possession, the way they repressed, chances that were created, I think for me, they can go home very happy with the performance and can only build on from that today, what we saw.
Yeah, they were good. They looked like they got better as well. They created a lot of chances. The efficiency in front of the goal is also another thing. How many games do you watch where there's just so many random crosses in the box and random moments and shots from outside the box? They're like these little cutback passes that are like big moments and big chances and really precise. And look, I think the worry about Spain is they haven't conceded a goal, by the way. Right? We're not even talking about defensively how good they are. And it's defensive because they have so much of the football, right? And if you look at the World Cup, if you watch France, right, if you were